Hello, and welcome to episode 8 of 4 Daily Wins, the series where we build a standard deck, 4 wins at a time, without spending any money. This is day number 8. We've made it through a week, and we are rolling right along. So one thing I wanted to bring up real quick is I know yesterday while I was filming, I forgot to use yesterday's quest refresh. I did go ahead into the account and take care of that off screen, so we didn't get a 750 gold quest, unfortunately, but I did make sure to use it. So first thing we'll do is go to the store, see if there are any deals worth partaking of. And there are not. Again, it's just cosmetics. That's going to happen most of the time. So we don't have any 750 gold quests. I'm going to use one of our refreshes. Okay, so we need to complete one of these, and if we cast 15 more white or blue spells, we get a brand new deck. So I want to go ahead and knock this out so we can get some more cards to look at. But before we do, I'm going to go into that deck and see if there's any way we can make it better with what we have. Okay, first thing I'll do is look at the rares and mythics in our colors. And right away I see we have another Kiora Best the Sea God. That card is borderline unfair, so we definitely want it. We'll get rid of a Brian Giant for that one. Thassa fits the theme of the deck pretty well. It is an enchantment, so we'll add her in as well. And we can take out a Naiad of Hidden Coves. Capture Sphere is good, but honestly, let's take this filter off. Honestly, Pacifism basically does the same thing for half the cost, so I'm fine making that substitution. Although it doesn't count Devotion for Thassa, but I guess it's not likely we're going to turn that on. Well, no, we'll turn it on with the Arcanist Owl by itself, so yeah, that's still fine. So we'll put in those pacifisms, and what else do we have that we might want to put in? Mythos of Snapdax. That's not really optimized in this deck because we don't have black or red mana. We can substitute one of our lands for an Ondu inversion, because it's also a land. Let's go ahead and take a plains out for that. What else do we have? Nothing that really fits the theme of the deck, honestly. There's a gold card, but there are some flyers in here. Well, yeah, we're not going to be casting much from places other than our hand. And that's all I see, really. Crawling Barrens is nice, but it's a little bit risky in a 2-color deck, so I'm not going to put that one in. Oh, there is a card I looked up earlier. It's an uncommon that we don't have, but we have plenty of uncommon wild cards, and I think this would be pretty good to have one of in our deck. So let's go ahead and craft one of these. And we'll replace a Tranquil Cove with it, because we don't want too many lands that enter the battlefield tapped. And the mana requirements in this deck aren't that strict. Other than the Arcanist's Owl. Yeah, there are only 3 cards that require 2 of the same color. The Owl doesn't count because we can use any land in our deck for it. Okay, so now that we've upgraded that a little bit, let's go ahead and get things moving. If you've been paying attention to our gold count, we are extremely close to being able to do our first real draft. I'm not going to do that in this episode. I'm going to dedicate an entire episode just to the draft. So we're not going to be getting any wins that day, technically, but I think it'll be alright. There'll be a lot of lessons to learn anyway. And this hand is not very good, honestly. I'm going to mulligan this one. This one's not a whole lot better, but at least it's a little bit better. We don't need 2 Arcanist's Owls, so let's get rid of 1, and here we go. Playing against lancej1s6@gmail.com. Don't think I've ever seen anyone use their actual email as their username before. Hopefully we'll draw another land so we can play some of the cards in our hand. Okay. Wow. Opponent is all in on this Jungle Delver, which actually might be enough depending on whether we draw any more lands. Yep. Okay, there's another land. Or yeah, that's a good start. This thing's not going to really do us much good. I'm inclined to discard it, to keep it ready to discard to Thirst for Meaning. We'll just take another beating, and hopefully we'll draw an answer to this Jungle Delver, and whatever comes next. Sure. Okay. Yeah, we'll discard this. Not be super thrilled about it, but what are you gonna do? This might hurt. Okay, not so bad. Cast this now. Definitely discard the All That Glitters, because that is not useful to us. We can... Well, let's see, do we want the Arcanist Owl, or do we want Elspeth Conquers Death, or the Archon of Sun's Grace? We actually have a lot of options here. I'm gonna play the Archon. I can block the Baloth Pack Hunter safely, and then next turn the Elspeth Conquers Death will trigger it, and we'll get blockers. Well, it's not so safe anymore. Yeah. I kind of... Let's see, that'll become a 5/6, and that's a safe block. Sure. Okay, and we may have turned a corner here. We'll use Elspeth Conquers Death to kill that. Enter combat. Cast this Eidolon, get another token. Even I'm surprised by how fast this is turning around. 4/4 is good, but we have Kiora Best's the Sea God on our turn, which is way better. In there for 7. Play out the Curious the Sea God. The least fair card in our deck by a mile. That should be it for the opponent, because the Saga is going to tap them down on our turn, allowing us to swing unopposed. Sure. That was an amazing turnaround, considering our start. So thank you, Lance J1S6, for the game. And moving on to the next one. Moving right along on this quest. 8 more spells for that quest. Okay, our next opponent is WRS Inc. LLC. This is fine. Not thrilled about it, but it'll do in a pinch. We have an aggro play for turn 1, we have removal. It's fine. Go ahead and get the creature on the board. If they don't do anything, we'll play the tap land on our turn. Won't lose any tempo. Even if they play a creature, I don't think I'm going to pacifism it, so... We do have the option of going super aggro with all that glitters. I think I'd rather save that though. Okay. I'm assuming this is the blue-black starter deck. I have no idea what's in that one. So I guess we'll just be surprised. Okay, well, that was a good draw. I don't know if they're playing counter spells, so I'm going to go ahead and cast this now. Ditch the all that glitters. Could potentially have some Stinging Lionfish action to tap down something with Karametra's Blessing. There's the Lionfish. Are they going to kill it? They're thinking about it. Nope. Boot Nipper. Okay. I could see this being a mutation deck. Interesting. I think I'm going to offer the trade and see what he does. See what they do, sorry. I am totally fine with that. That makes me feel much safer playing my Thassa Deep Dwelling. And then on our turn, we can play the Brine Giant. And if they happen to stack a bunch of mutations on this creature, I can always Pacifism to easily deal with it. Yeah, so they're gonna get a card draw. Not ideal, but not the end of the world either. No blocks. That would be impossible. Okay. Alright, so let's play out this pacifism, like I said. It's almost a 3-for-1, except that they drew a card, so it's kind of like a 2-for-1. Then we'll play the Lionfish. And that'll be all. Doing that would be pointless right now. But it can reset an attacker. If you attack with something and then use the Thassa to blink it, then it will come back untapped. Temple of Deceit. So that means they have a good card on top of their deck, or at least one that they think is good. The ideal draw here would be Arcanist's Owl, or I guess Kioribus the Sea God. That's always an ideal draw when you have 7 lands. Nope, not quite. So we're going to go ahead and attack. Sure. Play a land. Yeah, if I do the Starfish, then the Birth of Meletis, then I should also be able to cast the Brine Giant for 3 mana. Unless they have a counterspell, I guess. I'm gonna guess they have a Pouncing Shore Shark in their hand. They will eventually use it as a desperation move on this creature to return one of ours to our hand. Once again, don't need to use that. The opponent's a little flooded too. Oh. Yep, there's also that. Okay. Again, not ideal, but we still have the upper hand here. We have a pacifism waiting in the wings for whatever other monster they might throw at us. Sure. Luckily it says creature an opponent controls, so they can't return their own creature to their hand. So he's returning the lionfish and destroying the wall. I feel like he probably should have done that the other way around. But sure. The opponent is out of gas. Luminous Broodmoth, that's a good one. So we can play the Lionfish and the Broodmoth and still have mana available for the Karametra's Blessing, which is cool. Nothing to do but attack. We'll blink that to leave it untapped. We have offense, defense. We are in control of this game. Another Dirge Bat. Wow. Okay. So they could potentially kill both of our creatures, which is a little bit annoying. Excuse me. Yeah, I can't do anything about that. I feel like the graphics are glitched there. Sure. That's not going to do anything. We have a lot of draws we could get that would break the game open. Instead, we continue to flood. I could protect it. I think I want to protect it. This game is also taking a while, so ideally we want to finish them off as soon as possible. There we go. This should be pretty close to sealing the game up. I'd be surprised if they have anything that can deal with this. There we go. Thank you, WRS INC LLC, for the game. And there are our 20 blue or white spells. It's still gonna make us wait for the next deck, even though it took us a couple of days to do that. That stinks. Let's try out the red-black deck. I don't even want to look at it yet. Just want to... Let's be surprised. Two wins down, 2 to go. Q is taking longer than normal. Okay. I don't know what just happened. That's a draw? Okay, sure. Let's try that again. That's better. Playing against... I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm not even going to try. Okay. Definitely going to keep this hand. Question is, do we curve out from the first turn or not? Alright, so I think we're going to do the Scorpion into the Bloodfell Caves, into the Direfleet Warmonger, and actually, or we could do Piper of the Swarm. Yeah, kind of like that better. So we're going to attack for 1. We're going to play Piper of the Swarm, and then next turn we'll play a tap land and make a rat token. Or we'll Heartless Act something depending on what the opponent is up to. Scorching Dragonfire, maybe? I bet they have a Scorching Dragonfire. The question is, what will they try to kill? Oh, Bone Crusher. Well, that's good for them. Alright, so let's attack. We don't want another land. And we'll play out the Careless Celebrant, which can trade with the Bone Crusher Giant if that's what they play. Or we can... they did have the Scorching Dragonfire. Boo. Okay. Okay. Oh, they're stuck on 2 lands. It stinks for them. This creature is not really important enough to justify trading our 2-drop for it, either as a sacrifice or in combat, so they're light on lands. We can afford to hang back and save our removal for in case they do draw lands, and can play better creatures. Hornbeetle. That's probably worth killing. Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna attack with both. And if we attack with both and they don't block, then they go down to 7 life, which is fine. Or maybe they will block and then we get a 2-for-1. Either way, we're happy. That's interesting. Okay, so we'll attack first. Don't want to do the 2-for-1. Yes, they do. Okay, now we play our Kroxa. And it would be very easy for all 3 of these other cards to make their way to the graveyard, in which case we could escape the Kroxa. And I don't know if the red-green deck has many ways to effectively deal with an escaped Kroxa, so... I'm kind of thinking we just want to kill them as soon as possible. So let's go ahead and Heartless Act the Bone Crusher. That was a really good draw. This actually maybe just lets us win on the spot. We'll sacrifice this thing that does not have haste. Attack with both and Infuriate. And that'll do it. So this deck seems fun. I kind of want to just jump into another game with it before we look at it. But I'm not going to. Let's actually see if we can make this any better with the cards that we have available. Okay. So there is some good stuff in here. Elite Headhunter's okay, it's just so mana intensive. What can we play instead? Terror of the Peaks is always good. Bone Crusher is phenomenal. Let's get rid of Alchemist's Gift there. That's not a very good card. Oh, we need to get rid of another one. Oh yeah, the Headhunter. Okay. What else do we have? Yeah, that's probably all that's worth putting in. Okay. On to the next game. Hopefully we'll get our 4th win here. Nice and clean. Playing against Gummy Drops 1. Yeah, that sounds great. Good curve. Bone Crusher is always insane. We don't really know what colors they are. Fire Prophecy's fine. If they just play nothing, then we'll probably go Piper into Forbidden Friendship. Sure. Yeah, that's a good plan. Okay then. We will proceed as planned. Attack. Go ahead and play out the Kroxa. We're already well on our way to escaping it, which is nice. Okay. Let's bring it. Play out the Slaughter Priest of Mogus. Leave up Fire Prophecy and or Bone Crusher Giant. Yeah, sure. I feel like they should have saved that for the Kroxa, but who am I to judge? I'm gonna hold back the land to ship with the Fire Prophecy. Not bad. That's fine. Let's Fire Prophecy and Bone Crusher Giant. Yes. I don't know why I didn't attack with both, I just misclicked. Slaughter Priest and Celebrant. So at this point the opponent is in a lot of trouble. Unless they have something really good. There we go. That's win number 4. Thank you. Gummy drops 1. And we have successfully preserved the other quests to save for refreshes on another day. So we now have enough gold to do a draft. I'm going to talk all about drafts or sealeds. Actually, we could also do a sealed, I think, right? No, you need gems. You specifically need gems to do a sealed. So I will be doing a draft. And I will talk to you about the different formats, which one would be the best for you to play, and then we will actually go through a draft, and I will talk about my thought process on card choices. It's probably going to be, the pick order is probably going to be a lot different than what you might be used to from the pros who are all about winning as many games as possible. That's not necessarily going to be our goal. But I'll talk about that more tomorrow. You guys have a great day, and I will see you next time.